First of all, who is responsible? Is it the council, TfL, or the government?
Well, there were some very constructive conversations being going on between all three parties earlier in the year, but then obviously coronavirus has come along and it's really obviously blown a hole in the finances of both Hammersmith Council and TfL. And so now we're looking to the government to really play its part in funding this, because there is no other body at the moment with the funds available to actually to do the repairs to the bridge. So I've written to the Department for Transport, I've requested a meeting and they've refused, because it's really very clear that it's up to the government now to make sure that the funds are in place to get this bridge repaired.
You have written to the Ministry of Defence asking for a short-term measure, perhaps the military getting involved in putting a pedestrian bridge over the river. We got a statement from the MOD. They say that they try to add value where they can, but in this instance haven't taken into account all available capabilities. We suggest that the task may be better suited to a civil agency or private company, which seems to be saying, not us, Gov.
But I mean, honestly, the purpose of writing to the MOD is, I've had lots of constituents talk to me about, they are really, really desperate for an urgent temporary solution to this. In your piece just then, we've talked about schools going back and the gentleman there in the wheelchair, and so many local people, and I've heard so many stories myself of the difficulties that people are facing in everyday life now that they no longer have pedestrian or cycle access to the bridge. So myself, Richmond Council, we're leaving no stone unturned in trying to find a temporary solution to get people across the river while we get the main bridge fixed. And that might include a ferry service, as the Hammersmith Council has said there, that's something that's being looked at, but why not a pontoon bridge? So really the point of reaching out to the military was, A, their expertise, but also just to impress upon everybody the urgency of this. And I really think your piece there really backs up the urgency that I'm hearing from my constituents.
Sarah, we know the bridge has been corroding for decades unchecked. Why should the government step in with their cash when it's been left in that state? Surely it is up to the council.
Well, quite simply, Duncan, the council don't have the money. I mean, as I said, earlier in the year, there was some very constructive conversations going on, but the impact of the coronavirus has just meant that local authorities are really, really struggling to make ends meet and simply don't have that kind of capital available to make these repairs. Now, I mean,